come on live to do some testing on the equipment, to discuss the more dim the feast days. And by the way, we will have our feast days out next week, by the end of next week. And we must dismantle this fraudulent lie as to the system whereby we have generated a time that is applicable for our own desire. And that's what we have done. The men that call themselves leaders, they cannot even explain that. And someone emailed me last week or 2 weeks ago in the last session concerning the Solstice and the Equinox. This is so preposterous and ignorant. It is pathetic. You cannot show me any implication of the word solstice in Torah. You cannot show me the equivalence of equinox in Torah. And these are things that are totally associated with this form of pagan religious worship. It is not the true dedication unto Almighty Yah. I began to do a little research just to do it on the solstice. There are 900,851 pages just on that. You can read that in your lifetime. And you will find nothing that is associated with Yah. How do we come up with those kinds of things? Where do we get this from? I get everything from Torah, from what we call, quote, the Biblos, the Bible. Everything I draw from that. I very seldom, I use external information and things, researching out histories or the history of things to show us how preposterous that is. I'll show you one. I tell us all the time, is there anyone on with us? I said that I will be only 7, but that's fine. It's one thing that during this period, the equinox, they will tell you, the only thing you have to do, my friends, there's a website called Times and Dates. It will show you the time in every part of the world, every country, every nation. It will show you that even if you call that slither of land Yisrael, but Yah promised his nation the land from the great river Nile. This is Egypt. From the great river Nile to the great Euphrates, or the river Prat. That's the land of promise. Not just some little slither of land. You can't grow anything on it. There is nothing grown on that little slither of land. And those that they are the proponents of Yah, the land that is in the promise, show me anywhere that little slither of land. It could not hold all the people that are mighty from America. It could not. Yet we buy that. He gave us a promise from the great river. And I'm going to be teaching on many of these things during the colder days. The winter is coming. Very beautiful day here today. It's chilly. It's nice and wonderful. Reminded me of my schooling in the 6th, 5th, 7th, 8th grade. Those days take me back to those memories of those times where I can be dedicated with more time to teach. I have a job to do around here, not only teach and prepare for the messages, but I work. I work. Many would think, well, he doesn't work, but I work. I'm telling you, I work. I do whatever has to be done. This past week, I have split wood, help in any capacity I could, because all of our homes heat by wood. We have wood burning stoves, and you're going to see much of that during the winter, I will return back to Shemachol Yisrael, feed yourself. Is anyone online? Is it anyone online with us beside you?
Just click the chat button
Where is my chat button?
on your right hand side.
Right. Okay, here.
Yes, sir.
All right. All right. Wonderful to see you, Marcellus, and all. And we're going to be teaching on the broad breadth of many teachings that we can interact. Call me Marcellus. Call me. The number is area code 843-658-6222. Someone give me a call. I want to see how the system is working. I'm looking to purchase a laptop. Yawasidok, my son, been with me ever since he was a little boy. He's been with me all these years, his father. And I want to have just a dedicated system just for that, for the broadcast. I want to expand this because at one time there were thousands of people that I would hear from. I'm not the most acceptable person on this World Wide Web because I tell you the truth. I speak truth. What if someone give me a call if you can? Area code 843-658-6222. Area code 843-658-6222. I want to see how the system is working. Ak Yawasadak has been on this some bit of the day with precious Ak Yahoo there in Dallas, Texas. And I'm just ignorant to the process. I have no bones to pick. I'm not offended concerning those kinds of things. And these are the young minds that we're going to need in this hour that is going to assist. It's on this.
Mm-hmm.
I got to answer here.
Yes, sir.
Jumak Yisrael, Real David, Yabro.
Shabbat Shalom, Elder Rayon.
Yes.
Marcellus.
How you doing, my friend?
Say hello.
Can you hear him there?
I can
barely hear you, sir.
Can you hear me? You know what? I thought that we could get this. Just 1 minute, my friend, on the web, but that's all right. We can take. Can you hear me? Can you hear him on that?
Yeah, I can hear you now a little bit.
Okay, let me see, my friend. Just give me 1 second. You don't have to worry about paying because these cell phones we can call anywhere. Yes.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
How is that, son?
To talk with you, Elder Rayon.
Yes. So we're just here tonight trying to see what kinds of things we need to work on and get things done because we're gonna amp this up, especially when it gets a little chillier. And we want to amp this up where I am coming on maybe even every night whereby I'm not teaching. If it's nothing but just coming on for an hour or so.
Okay.
I like
that.
Yeah, I want to be on more because there's so many things that I know I need to teach to the nation. My friend, I don't know if you can see behind me, if you can see those books behind me, those big folders.
Elder Ray, I look at you on my phone because I'm at work. So when you asked me to call you, I had to actually use my phone.
Okay,
so then I'll be able to see. But can I ask you a question?
You can. Yes.
It's pertaining to the Bible, and I always wanted to know this. It's about Rebecca and the promise how it was given to Jacob versus Esau.
Yes.
I want to know. It may seem childish, but I want to know: would that be considered as Rebecca lied to have the promise moved over to Jacob? It's just a question. I often wanted to know that.
No, there is nothing it is already in the plan of Yah. And so Yah knew the difference between the Zirah. Look at your family. Look at my family. Out of all of those in my family, it was not that I was any better than any of my brothers or my only sister, but his selection is according to his process. And so all of us have sinned and come short of the expectation and the honor of Yah. So it is whom he select. He just pick out We are born, we're birthed, and those are the ones that he select, he calls. Has nothing to do with one pedigree or anything, because they both were wicked. We all have done wickedly. It was just it is to show the world that his process, that there is nothing that impedes him. He does what he will. It is his pleasure, his will. It is his fate, what he desired to do, my friend. Because I always thought my brothers and all were better than me. But I'm the one that he called. When he spoke, I could hear him. When the word convicted my heart, I've never heard an audible voice from Yah. Audible. No one has. But those patriarchs, we believe and we have confidence in all that he speaks, through the very dynamics of Yahshua HaMashiach, the word that is made alive. And when we hear the truth, my up, it makes us alive. It caused life to flow. And so Esau was no different than Jacob or any of them. He is still in the lineage of Almighty Yah. He has still blessed Esau. That's just what he's done. But he has selected a seed that he has called his own. That's it. There's none of us that have done. None has done tough. Come on.
Because I had a Christian tell me the whole opposite, and I kind of felt like it was a lie.
It was a lie.
But I shouldn't have asked, because it's almost like a silly question.
Let me do you.
Sorry, dear elder.
Let me do you a favor, my friend. I'm going to do a teaching just for you on the selection process of Yah, and I'll show you. I'm going to do that. Let me write it down right now. Let me find a pencil. The selection of Yah. And I know, listen, I have probably close to 100,000 teachings. If you can see behind me, you see those booklets up there?
I've definitely seen all of them.
Thick books up there. You see them? Can you see them? They are nearly 50. And each one has enough teaching in them for at least 6 months or a year. I've been teaching a long time. I've been preaching a long time.
I that you're a very wise man, sir.
Well, I don't know if I'm all of that, but I'm just a student of this book for the last, 45 plus years. I've been a student. I've come up through the process of many, through this delusional Jesus Christ and this violent, evil, white lie. As a young man in the 60s, I would see the Jews and all come to our neighborhood and sell us lies. Big Bibles with this effeminate looking man, when in my days, it was even looked down when a man wore his hair long. And when they began to integrate schools here in the South, we were one of the last ones. I did not enter a integrated school until about the 9th grade. And it was a horrific experience. Very horrific.
Wow.
Because our teachers of my hue, they were dedicated to us. Some of them would walk home like us. They had a conscience of the people, and they taught us. There are many, I'm not one of them. But in my segregated school of people looking like me, there are many that, as far as accomplishing much, the Diggs brother, the Hunt brothers, all three of them are doctors and people like that. Eric Harris and all of those, the Karen Washingtons and all of them. As far as the educational skill set to go beyond the limits of what was set before us, the people in those days in the 60s and 70s. You see the break off after that. We were disciplined. In the 60s, I didn't even know a white teacher. All my teachers were black. Every last one of them. All of them. I did not know a segregation or integration. It was always segregation. Our teachers were dedicated. They taught us. This is how you talk. This is how you enunciate words. This should be your speech. You should speak in this matter. Because can I say this to be honest with you? They did not want us to go out and embarrass ourselves and our people of our hue with some Caucasian talking this smack. They can't even speak correctly. No, they taught us. They taught us the proper verb and subject, which verb to use, the plural verb and the singular verb. They taught us all those things. I'm telling you, my friend, they did.
Yes, sir. Yeah,
They did.
I definitely believe you. I definitely believe it.
It's the truth,
Yes,
my
sir.
friend.
Yeah, and you sound like my dearly departed dad because he grew up in Huntsville, Texas.
Yes.
The segregated. So yeah, I hear it. I mean, I never really knew the man as well, but when I did get to meet him and get to talk with him, I understood what he went through, and with you men's generation went through. You guys,
Yes.
you man.
Not guys. I don't want. Listen.
Times.
I don't want you ever use that word guy, because
Yeah,
this is
I
a reflective
that's why I
pronoun.
was correcting myself.
Yeah, because it speaks of a simpleton, a fool, a jackass. Your father, how old would he be today? If he was
My dad, if he was alive right now, he would be 80 right
okay,
now.
he's ahead of me. He would be ahead of me.
He served in the Navy. He went to the Cuban conflict
Okay,
crisis.
yes.
He had a couple of degrees in accounting. He was a pretty smart man for someone who grew up in the South in that time.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yes,
It was.
Yes. It's been a great pleasure talking with you.
Same to you, my friend. Same to you.
Yes. And I often send out a little gift. And I just wanted to call you. I was at work, and I just wanted to call you, send my love, and thank you for being my friend.
Yes. Let me say this, my friend. There is no small or great gift. They're all the same. When one sends it from a heart of great delight, and you can see where every single penny you've ever seen where it goes. If God grants you to come, wonderful food to eat, fellowship, very clean place, everything. It all goes just, my friend.
Yes, I love it. And I want to thank you too, Elder Rayog, for WBOY.
Yes.
This is what it really helps me. It really helps me.
I'm glad it does, my friend. Yes. Can I say this before you go? There was a period of time during the 1990, 2000, during the latter 80s and 90s, that the FCC they were reaching out to people of our hue to get radio stations. They will be the low power radio stations. And where we were in Charlotte, we were in Center City. And the station that I filled out the application, many of the preachers of my hue did not know because they know everything. And so we got the license, and I did not even put the station up until we moved here in Jefferson, South Carolina. But in Charlotte, it would have reached the vast populace of people that look like me. And that's what I wanted for. I really wanted it. And there were not many people that knew that. And they were giving them away. And what the Caucasians are doing today, they're taking up those low power stations and doing them as repeaters. And they can reach 200 or 300 miles. Just repeating that same, their friends and all them collectively in group and things of that nature. And that's how the Trump boys and all of them, they get their message out. It's sad though. All right, my friend, you be encouraged. You get busy there. All right.
All right. All my love to you, Elder Ray.
All right.
To all the ministers and deacons on your board.
Yes, we don't have no board. We just have a fellowship. All right.
Okay, sir.
All right. Yabruk, my friend. Yabruk Shalom. That was a great, wonderful call. Someone I see, my friend Achmichaya Yisrael. I see a few of us here. Anything on YouTube? You that joining us? I'm not one that people tend to accept. I've never been that way. And there are those that will facilitate the less of people. I don't do that because I want to make it in. I mean business. I'm genuine. And I could have beguiled the people and made a lot of money. I could have been corrupt. I could have been sleeping with wives and everyone. I've never done that. I know my wife. No one else. I don't even hug women. I don't embrace them at all. I will embrace their husband. I have no conversation with no man's wife. I never have. We're going to go to my office and sit down and talk. That's not about to happen with me. If anything, my wife is in there and one of the elders. That's not going to happen with me. And there are many men that have, we don't even want to talk about that because they're just corrupt. And those that identify that they're the true Hebrew Israelites, they believe in such misogynist ways, reaping. And they don't, I mean, what if what they call the elders marry them to a woman, they got 3 or 4, 5 more on the side? You must always go back. Listen to me, nation. There's a word in Dora Korishith. As I taught last night, it is the primary principle. And everything must be in concordance, in alignment. When Yah made man, he gave him a wife. Well, look at Abraham and all of them. Yes, he suffered that. He has suffered many things with us. But even through all of that, we were never satisfied. We were never pleased. I have one wife, and I'm beyond satisfied. You tell me, man, even my age, Yah has still granted him the capacity to entertain in a great way. No dope and no drugs, no. I will never do my body that way. Someone give me a call. Let me talk to one of you all. We want to talk a little. I see my friend Lester Hodges. Ach, Lester, how are you, my friend? I've never said this to him. We have 2 Lesters. One there in Chicago, outside of the vicinity of Chicago, Illinois. He has been one of the most faithful persons over the many, many years. And I got to get him here for some oxtails and rice. Purchase some today, my friend. And I have 2 Juanitas. I've never talked to them about it. Never said anything. Someone give me a call if you're listening. We're just trying to experiment tonight. I found a beautiful system. It's a Dell. On this system, my box, it has Windows 10. I need something with Windows 11 or 11. And so I want to, if someone can send me an offering, I'm not like one of these begging preachers. Send me an offering of $500. I found an HP. I can get 17-inch laptop that I can get, that I can set things up, that I can broadcast, put just an independent source to do all the broadcasting and teaching. It's mobile. When I go, I can take it with me. I certainly want that, and to do those kinds of things. I said I wanted to talk a little bit about the Solstice. Who was that wrote to me? I can't remember. They wrote to me concerning the Solstice and the Equinox. And I said, and I say to us tonight, show me what indication whereby something that is so evil and vile as the Solstice or the Equinox, show me any implication or any resemblance of that in Torah. Show me. You can't find that. And I mean some of the most violent rituals, and utilizing those things. Go online and just do a research on Solstice history, or the Solstice, the history of that, and see how it's all integrated with your Jesus and your Lord God and Madonna the child and with all of the pagan Nimrod and all of that. Listen, my friend, those from last year to this year, the feast days, there were 383 days. Is that a year? I don't understand how gullible we are. And then the next one will be 353 days from this, from the last tabernacle that many celebrated October the 29th. They will celebrate October the 29th. It will be 350. It will be 353 days to the next one. You will never get a 364 or a 365. I don't care how you do it. If we do it the way the Torah commands us. And that's the way I do it. I know the time will change. We're going to have Pesach in the dead of winter, just like we will have it in the dead of summer. And we have learned lies and pagan lies. And we follow these things. We don't ask questions. We don't want to know. We don't want to deal with the reality. And when y'all reveal things to me, the only thing that troubles me is not that I'm not going to teach it. Is that people, there have been so many people that have fallen away from me over the many years. As I showed us the last time, the picture of how many people that lived here. We had a city, a small city, that we could have done everything, that we would have been a pillar to the world. And they would have come from all over to see the life of Yisrael, how they take care of each other and look after each other. You don't find that. It is just a few of us here. The supporters that supported this work, I would tell them about preachers everywhere that we may have not concurred with each other, but at least you will get simple truth. You would have. And today, nothing but lies and corruption, every kind of evil thing. Someone give me a call, area code 843-658-6222. Give me a call. Samaremas concerning Ishtar, Isis, Nimrod, Egypt, Osiris, the founder of the first world empire of Babylon. These are the people that created your system, of what we call the Solstice, and the reason why, or the Equinox. The word Equinox was not even a part of our vocabulary until the latter 1300s. It was not introduced until the 1400s. All I ask people to do is show me anywhere in Torah where we can see the equivalent of the words the Solstice or Equinox. Show me. And if you, all the feast days you have kept, if you remember the dates and you know the dates, go back and count them and see how many days pass. 353, 354. And there's going to come in 383 day year. 383. It's just not so, my friend. We talk about the winter solstice. All celebrations of pagan gods, of the gods. I don't call, forgive me, because all gods are devish and devilish. Our Abba, he is not a god. There's none like him. Because there's a God of this world. How short done. And we don't want to deal with that. We like fables, lies. We bow those things. It's very sad. It saddens me. Y'all began to open my eyes to things I didn't care what no one said. I knew over 40 years ago what his name was, but I didn't begin to teach that until I moved here. I did not. I began to keep the Shabbat when I was in Charlotte. But that troubled me. There was a man, he's deceased now. He was under the Church of God in Christ. His name was Evangelist E.J. Hartsfield, and he belonged to one of the largest congregations there in Chicago, Illinois. And I met him, I would say over 40 some years ago, over 45, about 45 years ago. I didn't even know the man, But I had heard his teachings and I said, this is what I need. There were things that I disagreed with because you believe a woman could preach. I will never buy that. Her beauty is not to conduct authority over a man. Get out of here. And he says to me, brother, his name is not Lord or God, his name is Yah. His son's name is Joshua. I had never heard that. I had read the expression Yah in Torah. I didn't have the kind of research tools that I have today. And I just began to preach that name in faith. And there were so many that separated from me. They left. Many left. Many. Until there's only a few here, but I'm satisfied with what Yah has done, my friend. Anyone, someone give me a call. Just give me a call. Let us chat for a moment. Area code 843-658-6222. Your feast days are lies. Your feast day calendars are lies. And no liar is going to enter into the kingdom. Tell your leaders to explain this to you. Command that of them. Those that you associate with, you have high regard for, command them to show you. Show me how you construct the feast days and accounting for time. Well, I don't know if there's a demonstration of that online. I've never seen one. They will never tell you. They will put them out. It's a simple way that Yah knew that a wayfaring man could understand. With no knowledge, we just do what he commanded us. We began at the first month, at that Chodesh, the slither of the moon. Well, it's the dark side. Isn't that amazing? That the word Chodesh, in its original form, it means the slithering or the silver slither can be seen. The moon is always in the it's dark, but it is the lights that brings the different phases of that. Show me how. We use, and Yah gave us a lunar calendar. He did not give us a lunar solar calendar. Period. Where's the lunar solar? Show me even the word solar. Show me a word in the Torah that's equivalent to the word solar. I will buy it. I will repent. You can't even find anything in the proximity of anything that is solar. He gave us a lunar calendar. Let me see if I can. Let me see. I want to share this with you. Where do I go, son?
Third, right there.
All right.
Window. Go up. Windows.
Okay.
And then
where is that? Right here.
And then share.
Okay, I want to share this with you. I've said to you many times, this is a website. Here. It is called Chabad.org. Listen to me, nation. And over the last few years, they have changed up everything because they would tell you. And they would show you things. I use this site to prove them wrong. It is informative. Everyone that call themselves Jews go to this site. Believe me, they go here. That's why I remind you all, Chabads, go there and look at it. Go and they will tell you even their deception and their lies. Same thing with the month's name here, Nisan, Aya, and all. They show you the amount of days and what it is. They would tell you that a year is either 353, 54, or 355. All of this information you can find here. And there is not a Jew that is a Rabbah, the universities, that they don't go and utilize the information of this site. These are the Lubavitch. Those Jews that came from Russia. I don't know who the leader is now, but I know in my days, it was a little diminutive man. He was probably 5'5", had a beard down to his waist. His name was Menachem Shirisan. And he was a leader. I was looking, let me see, the Lunar Files. Let me see what this is about. The Lunar Files, the back story behind oppression, suffering, darkness, and everything else you see go wrong. But they would show, it was so enlightening of this tool to dupe people. And they were telling, we know that it's not that bad. And we buy those lies. We must be certain. It has changed tremendously since I've used it. I have a lot of things on file whereby I would copy and paste. And I need to go back to, let me see. And these are those scammers. I should have turned my phone off. Forgive me, nation. And so many things I would find here. Someone give me a call, area code 843-658-6222. I want to see if I can find that. It's sad that we will buy the lies. We really don't have time to do any studying. As I brought out to us last night, what we call studying is not studying. You cannot study for an exam with 1 or 2 hours reading. You must get into the intricacies of that reading. You must remember words and remember definitions. They become lodged in your innermost being. And that's how you pass the exam. No other way. And we don't want to deal with the essence of truth. They had so much stuff on this site. I'm sad that they have reduced a lot. I mean, this site, I went on this site every day. It is just the truth. Let me see. Ask Rabbi. I've written to many rabbis. Rabbi, they never write back, send a gift and offering. They could never answer my questions. Shabbat times, Shabbat location. The calendar. Let's see what they have. Okay. They'll be celebrating their starting when? The 29th of this month. Most are beginning at some in September and some the latter part of this month. Many will begin on the 29th of October. That's when they will begin. So if I can find these, I'm going to work through this on the days to come. I want to try to come up every night, except the nights we're having service like Kitve Imat Wednesday or Friday. Zahin is on live. I want to try to come on for nothing more than an hour just to talk. But this site, believe me when I say this to you, my friends, this site had everything that's revealing about Judaism and the religion. And that's just the fact of the matter. This is my first time really on it in years. But I copy and paste those things that were up here. You don't even have the ability to search. Let me see. Let me just type this in. We're talking about the what? Okay. Here's the Jewish religion. Let me see what I can find. Jewish year, calendar year, Chabad. I'm glad to find this. Can you see this here? Right here, the length of a Jewish year. Do you all see that? Do you see it? You see what it says here? A standard Jewish year has 12 months. 26, 29 months, 6 of the year, 6 of the months are 29, 6 are 30 days. For a total of 354. Because the months follow the lunar orbit. That's just the truth. I've been saying this for many years. It followed the lunar. There's nowhere where you can find any equivalent to the word solar found in Torah. And if you do, please inform me. It says, in fact, all biblical holidays, Passover, Shavuot, and Sukkot, depends on the agricultural season. Where does the Torah commands us that? The Chag. But it says here, it says right here, the solution to it periodically is inserting, look at this now, an extra day, an extra 30-day month into a year. Show me where y'all commands us to do that. Please show me. And that's what we all do. I will not do it. And there are those that was, oh, he's loonish. It says this right here. You have accepted this concept, and this is how you do it. I'm guilty of that. But I could no longer do it. I knew all along during a period of time. And I said, no more, y'all. I will not. They insert a day because you got 354, the solar, a solar year at least at almost 365, 2/5 of a day. It is nearly 11 days long. If no adjustment, look at this now. Who gives you the power to make adjustment? If no adjustment, Passover will occur. Look at this. 11 days earlier each year. And it's supposed to do that. Listen, nation. Y'all's people are just not in this violent nation we call America. These people were scattered abroad throughout the continent of Africa, throughout Asia. I've taught on these subjects. They were scattered. You'd think that those few that came here, there were more slaves that were sent not to America, but there were those that were equal in numbers sent all over the British Empire, the French. There is nowhere on the British Empire where the sun goes down. That was the statement. How do you get that? Now, this is what it says here. You see it right here. You see this right here. The solution is to periodically insert an extra 30-day month, creating a 13th month. Show me the number 13 in Torah that deals with any aspect of this righteousness. I talked to my precious friend, he writes Ahmel Van in Africa. And they keep the feast, they keep tabernacle and all of that in the winter. Their times and season are different than ours. And what about all of them in the southern hemisphere? That is just flat out foolish. So this is what the Jews did. And this is what you do. You're not going to like me. You like lies, corruption. I'm not speaking this. I have written to the scholars. And if they will answer my question, I will send them a gift just for answering my question and sending me information. And through the many, many years of searching, I found this site. By chance, y'all said, keep looking. Look at this site. This is every principle of what we call the Jewish religion is based upon these mores. This. So they add, they adjust, the adjustment is made. Passover will recur 11 days earlier each year, and that's what's going to happen. We'll celebrate Passover and latter December or 1st of January. That's the truth. But you want to feel sociable or socially acceptable. And so you will shut your mind from this truth and follow a lie. I will not. And that was my fault at one time as well. So I don't condemn you. That was my fault. So we add this, it is called, this is what is called the Mubirat, the Ma'uberat, pregnant year in Hebrew. The English will call it, look at this, a leap year. That's what they call it here in this country. A leap year. No different. Is that pagan? We'll call it a leap year. And it makes up the lunar calendar lost days. It happens about once every 3 years. Do me a favor, you, my friends. There was a daughter wrote me and said, well, I'm not keeping feast days with you no more because you're too early for this and that. And she mentioned the person she would keep them with. Well, that person, I've said to him, let's discuss how you have come up with the solution of keeping your feast days. They don't want to talk about it. You challenge me, all of you. Ask them to show you, I can sit down. The matter of fact, I'm going to do it this year and show you how I go about organize the feast day celebration. I will show you. And every year it's going to go back 11 days, 11 days. You have it in the fall, the winter, summer, and it would take that cycle again. And so those of our Achim and daughters of Tizayo, they will have it in the same kind of season you have it. They will. We need to understand that. I want you all to get this word, this truth out. Here's the Sanhedrin, the Rabbinical Supreme Council, Hillel. This is what he says right here. I'm going to get it up to the top. Hillel calendar run. I got such dynamic teachings on this, all of this. This is what we call the Metanech, the Metonic cycle. Came from Milton, a Greek philosopher, a scientist. And he watched the stars and the moon and all for 19 years. It is called the Metanech. I can't recall the new one that they're fading toward that one. That's, they say, a little more persistent. But this is what it says from the Jewish site. From the Jewish site that every Jew go to. It says Hillel runs a 19-year Metanic or Metanech. Each cycle contains 7 leap years. The 3rd, 6, 8, 11, 14, 19, 17, and 19. The length of the standard leap year is 384, though it could be 383 or 385. These are exactly 14 different patterns of the Hebrew calendars that take distinguished by length of days and days of the week, Rosh Hashanah, because the rules are complex. That's why among people that look like me, you will have some keeping the feast days this time, at that time. That's what they do because they all got their own cycle. And the mythology, but it's all the same. You're going to have 383 days between one, 384 days between the other, and 385 days. It is called a leap year. And they insert an entire month in that. Sometimes we don't understand the very dynamics of Yah. This is truth. I recommend this site to everyone. Chabad. I recommend this. As a matter of fact, I want to put a link up to this site to tell people to go examine this site and they can understand truth. We are gullible and we are foolish. We can be taken by any lie, one that was birthed out of the bosom of Yah. For certainly y'all did not say that. You touch or handle this bread. Yeah, it's beautiful. We buy the lies. When I know something is wrong, I'm not going to continue that process. When I stop teaching in the name of that demon Jesus, there were many that were great contributors. They all turned against me. They turned away from me. They did. And then there were many that when I came along teaching in the name of the feast days, I was always troubled by that because how does this play in with Yah? And I was determined, Yah, I will tell what the Torah says. And I stopped. I didn't have no convenient of minds or we gather to discuss it. No. You see what they say here in this? You see what they say. Look what it says here. You see that. There are exactly 14 different patterns that the Hebrew calendar years may take, distinguished by length of the year, days, and weeks, which Rosh Hashanah falls. Because the rules, look at this word right here, Complex. Because the rules are complex, Yah didn't make the rules complex for us, nation. He made them simple that even a wayfaring man that doesn't know, but yet when he hears that, it begins to complicate his mind because he knows the element of truth. We're gullible. We're a gullible people. And we're so full of pride, we don't want to say, I'm wrong. Do you all see this? This is where the Hebrew Israelites, all of them, this were the white Catholics, the white Jews, those that call themselves black Jews. This is the pattern of that religion that all follows. I will not back down. If I have to stand alone, I will stand alone. I have no problem with that. But this is the truth. And the few of us here tonight, you see this. You see this. And you can reject it all you want to. It's to your damnation and your destruction. You will believe a lie over the truth? That's amazing here. It says, because it is so complex. The feast days are not complex. You just count the months. They are not complex. You just count the month 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And then you start the same cycle. That's simple. And it tells you how many days to count from until you come to the feast day time. That's not difficult. We all should be carrying out the same dates of the Moedim. And you got hundreds of different dates. I'm a student. I search things thoroughly. And that's a fact. That's a fact. That's a fact. That's a fact. And it is just the truth, my friends. However, it was not the Pesach to fall after the Equinox. What has the Equinox has to do with Yah? You see that? However, it was not the Passover to fall after the Equinox. The word was not part of our vocabulary until the 1400s. And when it was officially spring-like condition need to be evidence. Where does it say that? Show me one place where it says that there must be evidence of spring-like. Oh, the barley. Undoubtedly, they did not find the barley lash or at the beginning of this year. And so that's why Passover is held. The tabernacle is held this late. I've seen it go all the way through from every month almost. And it's one thing that those that swears by their Chanukah calendar, you cannot find their feast days. And many of them say Thursday is the Shabbat. You cannot find. I have searched over the many, many years. You cannot find their dates. If you find that, please send it to me. Send me the link. And then when you find one that will tell you the days, It is so complicated, even an ignorant man like me has to frown. However, you see that there? You'll see that. You'll see where. However, it wasn't enough for Passover to fall after the Equinox. You might as well do what they do for pagan Easter, and your feast days will fall every year at the same time. And these are the things, Yisrael, that you can easily research. You can. You can. You can easily research this. I don't care how many years you go back, you can easily research it. If you say the earth is X amount years old, you can find out that there's enough science. You can find out every new moon, every renewed moon, the Chodash. And that's what it is. It's the life and the light of the moon resonating among us. Your feast days are lies. I don't care if you don't like what I'm saying. It will fall back 11 years every year. Every year. You'll see it every year. Then you'll celebrate the Mo'adim. Every Mo'adim will be in the season that you have established to be that time. That these have established. Always in the spring of the year. That's not what the Torah is telling us. He told them at that time what to look for. You just keep it the way he did. You're going to see it, and it's going to come back to that time. It's going to come back to that time over the years. It's going to revolve and revolve. That's what it is. So every Achim and every family will enjoy the same kind of weather. All of our modern, we keep them in the pleasant times of the year, summer, spring. When other Achim are keeping it, everybody in South America keep it then in the winter. And those kinds of things, because they follow the same ritual way in this country. I simply wanted to talk a little bit tonight to see how. Someone give me a call quickly. As a few of you all in here, I want to. How many can we in the room? How many people can come in this room?
6.
That's it.
Yes,
I want to go up to the next level, or even the extreme level, when we get everything set up. All right, you all support the works here. Come on, nation. Come on, y'all grant you to come. You have a, if nothing else, we can give you a wonderful bed, a wonderful meal, and a beautiful place to lay your head, clean, and all of that. And what's the largest one that you're gonna have more than 6 or whatever? Are there any on YouTube?
Yes, sir. That's what I'm on.
Yeah, I want that. You on YouTube? Come on, nation. Give me a call. Someone from YouTube. Area code 843-658-6222. Someone give me a call. I want to be able to purchase me a new laptop, something 17 inches. I'm old. I can't see this. If I take these, I can't see nothing. I can't even see whose name that are in this room. It's no fashion statement. It's just an old statement. I'm getting old. Oh, this right here on the left side, I can't see a thing. I can barely see this who's in the room. It's all blurry. And this here, I can see that. I can hardly see that. All this writing, I can't see it. I really cannot, nation. I've been honest. I use here where I got this. It is a higher definition because I use larger fonts. To share. Where is that? Right here. Okay. I want to share this. I want to share this.
Click the share button. There you go.
All right. I want to share this. Now,
Windows,
I don't want to share this.
the middle window.
Okay. Windows. I want to share
Right there. That's
this.
it's
All right.
hit share, the word share, blue box.
Yes, sir.
And then
Here.
it's a slide.
Okay. This is what I want to share with you. All this. We're talking about the summer solstice, the day of the year. The reverse is true of the southern, right here. The shortest day and night, northern hemisphere, take place June 20 June 22, depending on the year. In the summer 2023, summer solstice occur. Show me that in Torah, please. I would beg you. I will repent tonight. I will repent. We love lies. We lie to ourselves. We pretend with ourselves. And the longest day of the year occurs between this pagan festival, December the 20th, 22nd. Humans may have observed the summer solstice in all kinds of religion. Early in the Stone Age, or they going back to that period, culture around the world still celebrate the day with feasts, bonfires, picnic, and songs. That's what they do. And so you tell me this ritualistic pagan lie that Yah said to us, this is the most appropriate time. We must understand the solstice. Show me where the word solstice is pronounced or any of its traits in Torah. Show me, please. Show me, please. And the day that you keep Pesach, you say that the day, an old man told me, I said, sir, that's not what it means. I can explain that to you. When there is, the days are equal. Go to times and dates, please, nation. The only date in that piece of land we call Israel. The date that has any close proximity to nearly 12 hours, it's in June 11th. There is even no closeness to an equal 12-hour day in parts in April. You can find out that information. We're lazy, we're gullible, and we believe any lie. Look at this here. This here. What is the Equinox in Christianity? The date signifies the beginning of spring. Isn't that what you do, Hebrew Israelites? To this day, the date of Easter Sunday hasn't changed. You tell me that Yah will incorporate this kind of destructive lie to celebrate a star, eggs, and bunny rabbits, and we take on the same attitude? You're liars. I will not buy your lies. I will not participate in them. If no one fellowships with me, I will not buy your lies because I know it's evil. Easter is still celebrated on the spring equinox. Days are equal now, 12, or 11 hours, 56, 11 hours, 46. No, those are lies. Of the spring equinox. The equinox is the time of the day at which the sun crosses the celestial equator twice a year. What is an equator? Some imaginary line? These are lies, and you buy the lies. I tell you the truth and you despise me. You don't even love me. You'll help me to purchase this 17.3-inch laptop. It's around $500. So whatever you send, Yah's my witness. If I may lie, may I be damned. I will use it for no other purpose but that. And if there's more to come in, I will use that to get the other equipment that I need to make sure that I can do things in a proficient way here. I want to teach us to learn. I'm getting older. I'm getting very old. And I want to finish my course in the way that I want to tell us the truth. Look at this before I close. What is the solstice? As the earth rotates on imaginary pole, it's an imaginary pole called its axis. We get our daily cycle of night and day. No, Yah said, let there be day, and let there be light, and let there be darkness. It's by the power of his word. You don't get it from that. This is how our minds have been so polluted. It's sad. The earth is not lying up on its axis to orbit around the sun. No, the sun orbit around the earth. In fact, it tilts 23.44 degrees with the respect of the sun, and it is called the ecliptic. That means fourth half of the year, the north side of our planet is tilted toward the sun, and the other half is tilted away. While the opposite is true for the rest of the year, the south side is tilted toward the sun, and the north is tilted away. A solstice occurs when the sun is at its highest or lowest point in the sky at noon. I'll tell you, that thing looked so big that it looked like you could throw a rock to it. And the sun and the moon is equal in size. He gave the great light to rule in the day, and the lesser to rule by night is tilted away. A solstice occurs when the sun is at its highest and or lowest point in the sky. One says it's summer, other says it's winter, marked by the longest, look at this, and the shortest day. Longest now and the shortest day. So they play with our clocks to say, all right, see that? Set the time back. I'm going to stop here tonight. I just wanted to talk tonight. Very powerful teaching on Shabbat coming. That the Imam, the mothers must teach their sons and how they must perform. A very dynamic teaching. So, our friends, I am going to say Bukhatov. I'm tired. I'm getting older. And I am going to get me some rest tonight. As a matter of fact, it's 7:58 here. Take me a shower, and I'm going to lay down with my Ima Raphael. So I say to you all, Yah Baruch, be encouraged, our friends. May Yah Shalom rest upon you, your home, and cause your heart to delight in His Torah. Yah Baruch, Shalom, Shalom. All right.